Let's talk about Kawhi Leonard and the way he's going about his business. He will hold court in LA next week to hear pitches from prospective teams, including the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Knicks. He is then expected to allow the Raptors to go last and make the final presentation. So let's go back to Brian Windhorst on this. Wendy, you brought into the conversation yesterday the significance of the timing of all of that. Let me give you the floor on Kawhi and his meetings.
Yeah, well, it looks now like he's going to squeeze them all into more of a Sunday, Monday window, which the entire league is going to be relieved by, especially the Lakers, because the Lakers can't really, I mean, on one hand, they have to sit there and wait for a no from Kawhi and Kyrie. That's the whole point here. You're not going to close a door on those guys. On the other hand, the signings are going to start coming off the board as soon as 601 hits, and players that you may want may go away. So the Lakers would like it to happen quickly, but obviously they're going to wait. The significance of the Raptors going last is in the eye of the beholder. I will point out to you, again, with LeBron free agencies, that the Heat went last in 2014 and that the Chicago Bulls went last in 2010. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. The one thing that Kawhi has that I don't know if everybody even in Toronto understands, they think that if he comes back to Toronto that they're the championship contenders, and they say to him, please come back here, let's win another one. But the reality is Kawhi, wherever he goes, will be a championship contender. He holds the power. And so I don't know how much of a sway coming back to the exact same team in Toronto has for him, and that's only something he can answer.
You know, it's fascinating because Kawhi, I'm not sure what the right word for it. He's sort of an unknowable dude. Like, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what he's thinking and what he prioritizes. So I'll ask you again, Jalen, what is your best sense of what Kawhi Leonard is going to do?
My best sense is while Kawhi Leonard wants to be a multi-time champion, while he wants to be regarded as one of the greatest players to ever do it, I don't think his goal is to join a super team. I think that's something that he wants to avoid, not for basketball reasons, but for lifestyle reasons, for lights, camera, action reasons. I don't see him as the kind of player when the warm-ups start slapping high fives with everybody on Celebrity Row. That's what you will be required to do in Los Angeles if you join the Lakers or the Clippers. And I just don't see him as doing that this offseason.
There's no way I see Kawhi Leonard join the Lakers. There's no way. I just don't. If you watch his actions over the course of his career, he is his own man. He does not give a hell about what anybody says. Even if people who want to use the context, and you made a great point the other day, because that's how initially I would look at it with the Clippers. Like, do you want to be LeBron James and AD's, the little brother franchise? Kawhi doesn't care about any of that. Have you noticed he doesn't care what anybody says? He's going to do what he wants to do because he feels like, hey, this best suits me. And I give him respect because I think a lot of other people kind of cave into what everybody else wants them to do to a certain degree.
I'm with you. And the healthiest way to do things by far is to follow your own instinct and your own heart's desire as opposed to listening to all of the outside noise, which does not have your best interest at heart. Having said that, how does anyone know exactly what that is? I don't know how anyone knows what Kawhi's desire actually is. What is he prioritizing? Is it the best chance to win? Is it the weather? I mean, what is it actually he wants?
We're going to go through pros and cons later, but I would say this. You can't do load management in the West. Now, I mean, even with that team, like you're going to need to play.
You can't do load management in the West because you're saying you would fall too far behind in the standings.
I think there's a lot of teams, and Jalen said this multiple times, I think there are a lot of teams out there. The West, I still say the West is harder than the East. So I think you, even with LeBron James and AD, you can still manage it to a certain degree, but not the same way you managed it in Toronto.
I agree. I don't believe that Kawhi's going to join the Lakers. I think that the allure...
How about the Clippers then? He can go to the Clippers.
I think he's staying in Toronto. That's the bottom. I think he's going to stay in Toronto because a couple of things happened. He grew up in Toronto in a different way. People felt like he was a product of the San Antonio Spurs. He needed to go there to prove that I'm an elite player out of that system. He also had to prove that I could come back from 9 games after people assassinated my character about saying I got misdiagnosed. So now for them to go on and win the championship, the doctors also proved something to him, that they can recover him, keep him healthy throughout the season.
Can I just say one thing about this? All this concern about what the narrative is going to be, what people are going to say, has anyone not paying attention to the fact that these things change all the time in the NBA?
Yes,
I'm old enough to remember when LeBron was a villain for going to Miami in the first place. And all of a sudden that went away. KD was a villain. Now all of a sudden he's a hero. These things change. Go where you think your best option is to win and be happy and let people say what they will.
I got another Kawhi point for you. Say he does go to L.A.
Yeah.
It indirectly reminds me of KD going to the Warriors because LeBron going to get all of the credit. He's going to get all of the shine. He's going to get
LeBron's
all of the
team.
interviews. He's going to have all of the big billboards.
Yep.
While Kawhi is out there feeling like he's the best player in the game.
No, I'm with you. I don't think he's going to the Lakers, but I think the Clippers remain
yes.
the much better option.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.